What is up, guys? Welcome back to S3M2 Football and welcome to today's football preview video. The English Premier League kicks off again this weekend, and for today's video I thought we'd focus on a major clash that is taking place this Sunday on the 22nd of December at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. So please join me as I talk just a little bit about Tottenham Hotspur versus Liverpool. We start off our video with the home side being Tottenham Hotspur. Now, the last 5 fixtures for the Lily Whites have ended in 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses. So it's looking super inconsistent for this team. Spurs' last match was a 4-3 win against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup earlier this week. And in these last 5, the Lily Whites have scored 13 goals and conceded 8 goals. The first player I'd like to talk about for Spurs is the man leading the line. English centre-forward Dominic Solanke has 9 goals and 4 assists in 22 appearances. With Solanke, I think Spurs have a centre-forward who is strong, he's intelligent, and he's lethal. Dominic Solanke has the confidence to take shots from pretty much anywhere in the box. Next up, I want to talk about a player who I think will be bringing a bit of stability to the midfield in Senegalese central midfielder Pape Sarr. In 25 appearances, Pape Sarr has 4 goals and 2 assists, but in him I think Spurs have a very strong, very aggressive box-to-box midfielder who will probably be the one responsible for winning the ball back and then trying to cycle it forward to the attacking players. And finally, I want to talk about the man between the sticks for Spurs in English goalkeeper Fraser Forster. In 10 appearances, it's just 2 clean sheets and 16 goals conceded for Fraser Forster. Now for me, Fraser Forster is a very strong, stable goalkeeper, but he's having a very poor run of form right now. And it's not helped at all by all of the defensive issues at Spurs. Right now, I think Fraser Forster really needs to work on his confidence if he's going to help Spurs to get any result in this fixture. In terms of injuries, Spurs have a very long list of defensive absentees. Firstly, goalkeeper Vicario, then the centre-back trio of Ben Davies, Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero, and then it's compounded with the absence of defensive midfielder Bentancur. So I think Coach Ange Postecoglu is going to have quite a headache on his hands. But I'm expecting to see him still line his team up to play on the counter-attack in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Postecoglu has decided to implement this double pivot in midfield for Spurs to just compensate for all of their defensive absences in the heart of their team. This leaves players like James Maddison then free in a number 10 role to then just sort of help the forward line to get goals. We'll see Son Heung-min out wide on the left with either Dejan Kulusevski or Brennan Johnson on the right. Up front leading the line, of course, will be Dominic Solanke, whose job is just to score as many goals as possible for this team. Okay, on to the away team now. For Liverpool, the last 5 fixtures have ended in 2 wins, 2 draws, and then the Merseyside derby that was supposed to be played on the 7th of December was postponed. Liverpool's last match was a 2-1 win away at Southampton in the Carabao Cup earlier this week. In these last 5 fixtures, the Reds have scored 8 goals and they've conceded 6 goals. So Liverpool are definitely keeping it solid at the back, but it looks like the goals have started to dry up front. The first player I'd like to talk about for Liverpool is probably one of the players who's going to get a goal in this match, in Mohamed Salah. The Egyptian right winger has 16 goals and 13 assists in 23 appearances. And in Mohamed Salah, I think Liverpool have a real quick, tricky player who can play either as a dribbler and a creative force out wide or as a finisher who just gets in the box and gets you goals. Next up, I want to talk about Hungarian central midfielder Dominik Szoboszlai. In 22 appearances, Szoboszlai has 2 goals and 3 assists, and in him I think Liverpool now have a workhorse in their midfield. Dominik Szoboszlai has so much energy and he uses it to win the ball back, but he's also a very creative player, so once he's won the ball back, he knows exactly what he needs to do with it in order to transition this team from defense to attack. Speaking of defense, the last player I'd like to talk about is going to be Dutch centre-back Virgil van Dijk. In 21 appearances, it is 2 goals and 1 assist for Van Dijk. But in him, I think Liverpool have a very physical, a very intelligent, and a very aggressive centre-back. But my favorite characteristic about Virgil van Dijk has got to be his leadership abilities. You can see that all of his teammates respect Van Dijk as the senior authority figure in this team. In terms of absentees, Liverpool I think will only be concerned with the injury to centre-back Ibrahima Konate. But I think coach Arne has all of the players he needs to still focus on playing his counter-attacking football in his 4-3-3 formation. The idea at Liverpool is to just win the ball and then pump it forward to the attacking players as quickly and as efficiently as possible. The midfielders look to play it quickly on the ground, just catching the opposition off guard, while the defenders look to launch the ball aerially with these incredibly accurate diagonals from Trent Alexander-Arnold at right back and then Andy Robertson from left back, just knocking it forward to the strikers. For the forwards, the instruction is simple: find space and then make it count. Okay, on to the head-to-head and the S3M2 verdict. Now, the last 5 fixtures between Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool have ended in 1 win for Spurs, 3 wins for Liverpool, and then 1 draw, separating the two sides. In these last 5 fixtures, Spurs have scored 9 goals, but Liverpool have scored 12 goals. So in both of these demographics, it looks like Liverpool are seriously the heavy favourites in this one. If we look at the Premier League standings right now, Liverpool are first with 36 points, while Spurs are 10th with 23 points. So I think that in itself tells you exactly everything you need to know about what I would say is the gulf in not just quality, but consistency between these two teams. For Spurs, they've been way too leaky at the back. It is just 2 clean sheets in the last 10 games for the Lily Whites. But I think at least they can take a little bit of heart from knowing that they've managed to score in 9 of those 10 games. I think it is very psychologically damaging that both of those matches where Spurs kept clean sheets were actually away from home. So that tells us that in front of their own home patch, Spurs are really struggling to just shut opposition attackers out. I think the inconsistency from Liverpool in the last few fixtures has really hurt their title ambitions. These draws have just sort of opened up the title race, and now we're seeing Chelsea enter the race as well. I think before, everybody just assumed that Liverpool were overly reliant on Mohamed Salah to get goals and assists, but recently we're seeing the other forwards at Anfield now step up. Players like Cody Gakpo, Diogo Jota and Darwin Núñez are all getting goals as well. And I think that takes so much pressure off Mohamed Salah, but it also means that if something happens to Salah, whether it's an injury or he decides to leave the club, they can now sort of still manage to get good results without him. When you look at Spurs, they've really been hurt with all of their injuries in the heart of their defense. Spurs have really looked bad defensively, whether it's just because the goalkeeper seems very off form and his confidence has really taken a knock, or maybe perhaps the replacement centre-backs are just not up to scratch. But I think now when we look at this fixture, it's obvious that we have to talk about Liverpool being so good up front and then Spurs being so bad at the back. And I think there's a lot of 1v1 situations here that will come into play. But I think for me particularly, I'd be looking to see how Darwin Núñez manages against this hodgepodge makeshift defense that Ange Postecoglu has decided to put together at Spurs. Liverpool, however, in this fixture have had no problem getting results, whether it's away from home or whether it's at Anfield. So I think Spurs know that alarm bells should be ringing right now. I think, yes, Liverpool are under a bit of pressure at the top of the league table right now, but when I look at this team, I see them sort of absorb pressure and just use it to motivate themselves to find an extra gear. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen this weekend. I think Liverpool are going to sort of see the Tottenham team moving forward and trying to get at them, and they're just going to spot all of the defensive fragility that Spurs have put on display for everybody to see. My score prediction for this one is going to be Tottenham Hotspur 1, Liverpool 3. I think Liverpool have too much up front for Spurs, and I think right now This makeshift defense that Ange Postecoglu has put together has been functioning okay in some matches, but when it comes to a team like Liverpool, they'll just tear you apart on the counter. And I think that's where Spurs look very, very vulnerable.
Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Um, Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Um, Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.